Terrarian in the Dungeon, Chapter 75, Fan Fiction, by Azazyel. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for listening and patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of his stories. Terrible lances of pain filled my head as the surrounding light greatly brightened, and I saw how thick, dense strings of what looked like light were stuck into the purple pulsating flesh and gems studded into the brain of Cthulhu, with the strings seemingly going all the way into the sky. Then that powerful female voice that echoed with power and harsh divine might filled my ears again. The Terrarian. Working with mortals so much is pathetic. Your predecessors did not, and they slayed gods alone. The voice spoke, and I realized as I could barely see out of my eyes at both the mental pain of whatever was assailing me and the harsh light holding the brain of Cthulhu still, that Filvis and Bell were just frozen in place with their bodies twitching ever so slightly in place like they were in some kind of illusion. Once again, the voice spoke to me, and this time, I could tell the voice was at the end of its patience as she spoke boredly, and my lips twitched into a wry smile as I could honestly care less about what she said. As the Empress of Light, I refuse to look down upon the warrior who is supposed to lay low an entire pantheon of gods. I refuse to be a footnote in your story, whether you succeed with your fellow mortals and slay all and become gods, or simply die and be forgotten. I refuse, so know this, Terrarian, this Empress shall watch your actions from here on, and your next first great kills must be done alone, lest I refuse to serve you after you defeat me and my fellow royal, the Queen Slime. I honestly couldn't give a shit less about Empress of Light serving me in this situation, as I very much preferred to kill the massive Terraria scary bosses with the help of powerful mages and strong adventurers. But seemingly in an understanding of my thoughts, the light filling the clearing we were fighting the brain of Cthulhu within further brightened until right directly in front of me formed a solid pillar of light, and out of it staggered out an almost completely human woman with only large multicolored wings behind her. You are nowhere near ready to summon me, so this is being done on my own power, and it's difficult to shove down the instinctive desire to slay you where you stand, to say the least. She spoke while straightening up, and her cold rainbow-shifting eyes stared into my own. Few will match you in might, should you succeed in killing the wall of flesh, and only should you arm and armor them fully in the weapons you craft and obtain, would any be able to stand beside you at all. As they can only wear a single great soul item without a Terrarian soul to defend against the stress the items place on the soul. She explained, and I understood that the soul items were supposed to mean being the very powerful Fargo's souls items I got from killing bosses. Once you get past the Moon Lord and have to kill more powerful gods, what then, Jake Barris? She whispered as she suddenly drew close, and being so close, I could see her skin was all but clear of any imperfections, and I truly was reminded of how the Empress of Light was a goddess above even the Moon Lord. Do not disappoint me in yourself. She finished, and with a crack of lightning or plasma arcing into the surrounding, she disappeared in an eye-gouging bright light, and then time all but resumed as the light strings binding the brain of Cthulhu broke apart and the girls kept running towards it while my headache dulled down to nothingness. Gurgle. The brain of Cthulhu rumbled wrathfully, honestly like a Nurgle demon, as it dived down towards me while ignoring the girls that sliced into the massive brain monster with their swords. With a shout, I slashed my own oversized sword of grass across the full form of the brain of Cthulhu while using my grappling hook to basically use myself as a yo-yo on a string and its body as the core, as my grappling hook's chains wrapped around the body and pulled me around the body so my sword could slice across it and fill it with the potent toxins that filled the sword. After slashing the brain of Cthulhu with my sword, I disengaged my grappling hook, and with my momentum as I was wrapping around the boss I was sent flying across the air, flipping through the air until I saw green from the trees beneath me, so I shot my grappling hook and with a groan, I attached to something and the grappling hook drew me towards it, but the sudden stop in the air made my chest hurt while thankfully my armor helped prop up my neck so I didn't get further whiplash. At the end of illusion, the spirit returns, forming an unbreakable bond, Ein Cell. Filvis quickly chanted, and as I skidded across the ground while landing, I saw a clone form beside Filvis armed with her staff, but instead of Filvis's normal wine-red eyes, I saw this clone had bright, almost sky-blue eyes. Then, together in unison, the elves held hands and then pointed their palms at the boss and started chanting in unison together in twin speech as the brain of Cthulhu briefly focused on Bell to shoot lasers at her. Sweep, holy staff of crushing evil Dio Thursos. Then from the palm of each of Filvis's hands came a ray of golden lightning that struck the brain of Cthulhu, creating a powerful explosion of arcing lightning, and the force of the explosion of lightning blasted the house-sized brain of Cthulhu out of the air, and sent it across the landscape, gouging out a trench as the lightning arced across its body, obviously causing it great distress. And as I went to stab it with my fiery greatsword, I cursed as I fell through the illusion of its form stabbing into the ground, and as a fleshy tentacle whipped at me I dashed into it with my shield of brain of Cthulhu, creating an explosion of air, escaping as a far larger and powerful object met with an almost unstoppable momentum from me using the dash from the shield. Boom, I whispered as I threw a stick of dynamite into the central eye hole in the center of the Brain of Cthulhu, and I grappled hooked away as the stick of dynamite exploded, making the Brain of Cthulhu scream in agony as it lost like half its body mass, with me hitting its weak point with the powerful explosion. As I got away and I saw Bell shooting the boss with her own magna cannon, blowing off handfuls of its flesh, I saw Filvis take a deep breath and then chant again as she used her lightning spell again. Sweep, holy staff of crushing evil Dio Thursos. This time she seemingly put more than double the mind or mana into it compared to the last one, as the missiles of golden lightning lit the Brain of Cthulhu and fully encased it in a storm of golden lightning that took a few seconds to dissipate, and before it even did I heard the soft thumping of the red Brain of Cthulhu bags hitting the ground, signaling the boss's death.